I grew up thinking I understood winter. Cold winds, frozen roads, that quiet blanket of snow that makes the world feel calm. But after what happened last December, I don't trust snow anymore. Not after I met the Snow Lurker. It started the night the storm rolled in over Coldwater Ridge, the kind of storm that swallows sound and turns every breath into a cloud of pain. I was driving home from work, taking the old back road because I thought it'd be faster. Long story short, that was the worst decision I've ever made. The snow was coming down so thick it looked like TV static. I could barely see 10 feet ahead. My phone had no service, my gas light was on, and my heater was starting to wheeze like it was dying. When the engine finally sputtered out, I felt my stomach drop. Great. Middle of nowhere. Blizzard. I grabbed my flashlight and stepped out into the wind. At first, everything was normal. Just snow, silence, and the crunch under my boots. But the silence started to feel wrong. Snowstorms usually have that low roar like distant traffic. But this one was too quiet. Like the storm itself was holding its breath. As I walked, I noticed something strange. The snow was falling hard, but the ground behind me looked smooth. No footprints. I stopped and looked back. Nothing. The snow had already filled them in. I told myself it was just the wind. Then I heard it. A long, thin wail drifting through the storm, like wind squeezing through a cracked window, mixed with a deep moan that didn't sound human. It rose and fell, almost sad, but there was something hungry underneath it. I swung my flashlight around, heart pounding. The beam caught trees, snow, darkness, and then something moved between the trunks. Tall, too tall, and wrong. I couldn't see it clearly, just a long, pale shape sliding behind trees without making a sound, as if the snow swallowed the noise. I started walking faster. My boots felt heavier with every step. The cold bit deeper. Then the frost whine came again. Closer, much closer. So close it vibrated in my ribs. I broke into a run. The storm swallowed me whole. My flashlight beam shook violently as I sprinted, slipping across icy patches. And then, in the distance, I saw it. A faint yellow glow. A cabin. I didn't think. I just ran. When I got to the door, I realized it was barely standing, old, abandoned, half rotted. But it was shelter. I shoved the door open and fell inside. My flashlight flickered. The place smelled like old wood and frozen dust. I was trying to steady my breathing when I noticed the walls. Scratches. Deep ones. Like something with claws had tried to carve its way in or out. The frost whine came again from outside, right outside. And then I heard the crunch of something heavy stepping into the snow. I killed my flashlight. Didn't even dare breathe. Shadows moved past the cracks in the boards, slow, searching. A long, thin shape slid across the window, blocking the storm for a moment. I could see the silhouette. Tall, bent, limbs too long, head tilted like it was listening. And then the door creaked. Just slightly, like something pressing against it. I backed up until I hit the far wall. The thing outside inhaled, a slow, rattling breath that made the board shiver. Then through the crack in the door, I saw it. A strip of white, smooth, featureless. But then it split open. Little black slits spreading across its face like cracks in ice. Its eyes searching the dark, looking for heat. For me. The frost wine started again, but this time it wasn't drifting. It was right on the other side. I grabbed a broken chair leg and held it like a weapon, knowing damn well it wouldn't matter. The door shuddered. Once, twice, then stopped. Silence. I waited, frozen, every muscle screaming. Then, the sound of footsteps backing away. But here's the thing. I didn't hear the steps fade into the distance. I heard them climb right up onto the roof. Snow sifted through the rafters as something heavy crept overhead. Slow, deliberate, positioning itself. I could hear its fingers dragging across the wood, tapping, testing. And then it stopped, directly over me. And then, a single crack of wood. Something pushing down. I bolted. I didn't care where. I threw myself through the back door, which nearly tore off its hinges, and sprinted into the storm. The wind howled, the cold stabbed at my lungs, but I kept running. Behind me, the frost wine rose again, angry now. I don't remember much after that, just running until my legs gave out. Someone eventually found me, half frozen, wandering the edge of town at dawn. They said I must have been hallucinating from the cold. But I know what I saw. And sometimes, late at night, when the temperatures drop and the first snow begins to fall, I hear that thin, sorrowful wail drifting across the fields outside my house. The frost whine. A reminder that the Snow Lurker is still out there. Still hunting. Still waiting for the next storm. And winter is just beginning.